Republicans in the United States are facing a very serious problem right now. And that problem is they've got to deal with this monster they've created, the MAGA monster, if you will, as the Daily Beast calls it. And this MAGA monster is basically manifesting itself right now in the form of Republican primary challengers to incumbent Republican governors. And what's interesting about this new report from the Daily Beast talking about all of this is that none of these governors that are now facing die-hard MAGA challengers could be considered moderates. None of them could be considered rhinos, Republicans in name only. They're all staunch conservatives who have all expressed their complete support for Donald Trump. But unfortunately, along the way, one slip up here, one policy people disagree with there, and suddenly you find yourself being attacked by the very people you've been pandering to for the last 5 years. It's happening with Brad Little in Idaho. Little has been an absolute Trump supporter since day one. But unfortunately, he also put a couple COVID restrictions in place during the pandemic, the early days of the pandemic. So now he is facing a challenge from his own lieutenant governor. His own lieutenant governor who says he's trying to shut down the state and not keep it open. Brian Kemp in Georgia is another example. Kemp has passed all kinds of voter suppression laws, doing everything he can to turn his state red again, has been an avid Trump supporter since the beginning, but of course, he wouldn't overturn the 2020 presidential election results, so Trump hates him, and he's put up his own primary challengers against him. Kristi Noem in South Dakota, by the way, is also facing a die-hard MAGA challenger who is upset about the fact that Noem wouldn't push for a transgender athlete ban. And because of that, because of literally that one thing, you're suddenly a rhino. You're a Republican in name only. You're a moderate that needs to be kicked out of the party, just like Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney, who probably just 10 years ago were considered very right-wing. And this is what the Republican Party of today has become. That's what this story is really about. It's not just about all of these different Republican governors facing their comeuppance for creating this monster. It's about how far right the Republican Party has moved. If we think there is any hope that the Republican Party as a whole, as it is right now, is somehow going to move back towards the center, we are kidding ourselves. They're going to continue to move to the far right. The only thing that stops that is voting these people out of office year after year after year. This is not going to be a quick process. And it has to be a total and complete process in order for it to work. That's the worst part of this. You know, if people go to the polls this year and they vote out all of these MAGA extremists, that's a good start. It sends the message that we don't want to go that far. But the message doesn't get across through just one election. We've seen that with both Democrats and Republicans. It has to happen through several different cycles where every time an extremist pops up, people reject that individual. And eventually the Republican Party will say, okay, we're on the wrong path. We have to go back towards the center. We have to get rid of the extremists. And of course, we have to stop pandering to Donald Trump himself. But again, this is a lengthy process that takes 3, maybe even 4 election cycles to break. And until then, we're going to see more of these hard right extremists try to push out any Republican that isn't 100% either loyal to Donald Trump or isn't willing to sign every single oppressive piece of legislation that comes across their desk. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.